Hello everyone. Today, I am going to show you guys how to set up your WOpet Wi-Fi pet feeder. I know some of you guys have found this pretty easy to set up, but you may find out certain areas of functions that you don't understand fully. Or you recently just got the new pet feeder and want to follow a step-by-step guide, then this video will be the perfect guide for you so that you will benefit from this amazing device. Before we get into the software, we will need to set up the pet feeder itself. First, to connect the pet feeder to a power source, there are two options you can do. Open up the battery compartment at the bottom of the feeder, insert the micro USB power cord into the connector at the bottom and extend the power cord out along the design wire guide. If you prefer to use D-cell batteries, WOpet kindly included this option for you as well. By using the battery power supply, it will enable the feeder to work automatically according to your feeding schedule, even without an external power supply. Once you have connected to one of the power sources, turn on the power switch and put on the battery compartment lid back to the feeder. Next, we will put in the feeding tray. We will slide these two bumpers towards the bottom of the feeder. So here, I will slide in the feeding tray as shown until it clicks. Once that's done, I will put the grain bucket on top of the feeder. The knob here is to lock or unlock the grain bucket. I recommend to use only dry food with the size range from 5 to 15 mm. Wet food and damp food are strictly prohibited from being placed in this feeder. In addition, I recommend washing the grain bucket and feeding tray regularly to keep everything clean and tidy. Once the hardware is set up, here are some of the basic operation panels that you should know. This is the indicator LED, microphone, buzzer, recording button, manual feeding button, and Wi-Fi settings button. And now we are ready to pick up our phone and let the app do the rest for us. First, we will search the App Store or scan the QR code I have provided on the screen to download and install the app called Pet Zero. Once installed, run the app. Read and agree to the privacy policy and register a new account or log in to a registered account. When you register or log into an account, please choose the correct country of the area. In my case, it would be the United States of America. When you log in, the app will ask you to access certain permissions. These permissions are very important for the app to work properly, so make sure you allow them. Click Add Device or plus button at the top right corner to add a new pet feeder. Choose the Add Manually tab and select Wi-Fi pet feeder. Check whether the indicator LED is flashing red twice every second. If yes, then click indicator is flashing rapidly to go to the next step. If not, please press and hold on to the Wi-Fi settings button for 3 seconds until you hear a beep sound. Then, the feeder's indicator LED will flash rapidly. If the app asks for the location permission of your mobile phones, please allow it. Then, the name of your Wi-Fi network will appear in the text box automatically. Please note that the feeder does not support 5 GHz Wi-Fi networks, only 2.4 GHz networks. So make sure to check that the Wi-Fi name is the name of a 2.4 GHz Wi-Fi network. If not, please switch the mobile phone's Wi-Fi network to a 2.4 GHz Wi-Fi network. Next, please enter the corresponding Wi-Fi password and click Confirm. The feeder will then try to connect to the Wi-Fi network. If the feeder is failed to connect, please add the feeder using the AP mode, which is the alternative option for adding the feeder. Choose Switch Pairing Mode or choose AP Mode manually in the adding process. Check the indicator LED is flashing red once every 3 seconds. Then, click indicator light is flashing slowly. If the indicator is not flashing once every 3 seconds, please long press the Wi-Fi settings button for 3 seconds until you hear the beep sound to switch indicator flashing status to flashing rapidly. Then, long press the Wi-Fi button again to switch indicator light to flashing slowly. Please check the name of the 2.4 GHz Wi-Fi network once again and enter the password in the same way as in the normal mode. Click Confirm and the app will ask you to switch your mobile phone's network to a new network broadcast by the feeder. So now, you will go to the Wi-Fi settings on your mobile phone and connect to the Wi-Fi which starts with Smart Life. No password is necessary. Return to the app after the Wi-Fi is connected. From here on, the adding process will be the same as in the normal mode covered previously. Once the Wi-Fi feeder is connected to your phone, you can change the name of the device by clicking on the Edit button. In this case, I will put Polar's Wi-Fi Pet Feeder and click Save when you are done. This is the main interface of the Wi-Fi pet feeder. There are a couple of ways to feed your pet. The first one I'm going to cover here is manual feeding by using your app. Click Manual Feed on the screen. Choose feeding portions by sliding up or down and click Confirm once the desired portion is selected. You will see the blue indicator light flashing and the feeder will feed immediately. You can also use manual feeding by double-clicking the manual feed button on the feeder. The feeding amount can be adjusted in the app setting. To disable manual feeding from the feeder, set the feeding portion to 0. Another useful feature on this feeder is the time feeding or schedule feeding. On the main interface, click the plus button, choose feeding time, repeat rules for each day of the week and feeding portions. In my case, I will put 12:30 p.m. on every weekday with the amount of 18 portions. Then click Save. You can save up to 15 feeding schedules on this machine. If you need to disable a schedule, you can disable it by tapping the on or off button. You can also delete it by swiping the feeding schedule to the left to access the delete option. I will leave the schedule as it is because this is what I want. Back to the video, you will see the blue indicator light is flashing. It is because the amount that was dispensed isn't 18 portions which I have set earlier. This device has an infrared sensor just below the dispenser hole to prevent the feeding tray from overflowing. And you can see, if I try to use the on-device button, it will not allow me until everything is cleared from the infrared sensor. So, the easy way to trick the sensor is to move the food away until every portion is dispensed. Now, you will see a non-flashing blue indicator. To develop good feeding habits for your pets, the feeder supports pre-recording up to 10 seconds of audio, which is played during feeding. Press and hold the record button for 3 seconds until the feeder makes a drip sound. Then, you can start talking at the microphone position. Note that the recording button should always be pressed continually and release the button when you are done. You can preview the recorded audio by short pressing the record button. The default voice recording playback is 3 times. It can be customized for a maximum of 5 times. To change it, click the settings icon in the main interface on your phone and set up voice times. Setting it to 0 can disable the feeding audio function. For my case, I will set it to 5. After feeding, there will be feeding records in the app. Click this button for the record of the past 7 days. When a malfunction occurs, a message will appear in the app, and you can check error messages in the message center. Another important thing to note is making sure the time zone of the device matches your phone by going to the device information. If it is incorrect, the feeder may feed at incorrect times. I would recommend removing the device from your app and reconnecting it. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Thumbs up if you like it and subs if you love it. I will see you guys on the next video.